responsibility of the entrepreneur to develop vision and mission within this organization, to inspire others with the ability to execute. If the plan isn't executed, nothing happens. But execution is a strong element of that. I want to give you some example of what we're going to be talking about here. You're all familiar with the McDonald's model. It's a system. A 16-year-old can be trained to run a $1 million business. How can they do that? Because of a system. And we must have something in place to run our businesses if we want the business to have value, if we want to be able to exit our business at some point, either by transferring the business to another family member, by selling the business, or by maintaining the ownership of the business and turning over the operation to someone else. And in order to do that, the business has to operate by some set of rules. Now, back in the 50s when Ray Kroc started McDonald's system, he really wasn't the person that actually developed that system. What Ray Kroc did was take that system, refine it, and develop it into a system that people could be trained to apply. That's what made the McDonald's system something that worked. But Ray Kroc had one other element that made the entire thing work. He had vision. And his vision of what that company would do and what it would look like is what created the environment for McDonald's to thrive. The McDonald brothers actually invented that system, if you will. Before Ray Kroc came along, that system was in place and working, but it wasn't duplicatable. It was only running one shop. And the McDonald brothers had actually attempted to franchise that business themselves. But they didn't have the skills to do that. And that held their business back. So it's not that their system didn't work. It wasn't that they had put the effort in to make that system. It was that the system needed one other element. And that was the element of execution to make that system duplicatable. So in our businesses, small businesses in particular, that people such as yourselves run, is your business running by a system, or is it running by the seat of your pants? If you have a system, but it's not documented, that's only part of it. It needs to be documented and actually operating and have people trained to use it properly. That's what makes it work. That's what makes it duplicatable. That's what makes it something that you can now walk away from and still gain something from it. How many of you want to work the rest of your lives until you hit the grave? Smart guy. Weird. But at some point, we want to be able to do something else with our time. Why are you in business? Why are you in business?
Create value for my customers. To express my creative desires, minute by minute, day by day, until I die at my desk.
And that's what you want to do.
I enjoy it.
You enjoy it.
I like making stuff.
Would you also want to enjoy those and have a choice? Whether or not you went in there every day.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. And most of us, though, running small business, don't have that choice. Because we're too tied to the business to allow us to take that time off. And that is the big challenge with a small business. The other challenge is a lot of small business owners know intellectually that it's good to have a system. However, how do you bring that system about and put it into effect? That's outside of the operation. That's something that you have to do with different time than the time you spend running the business. And that's true. You have to be able to operate that business, and you have to be able to work on that business. And it takes time. What makes the difference, though? What makes the difference between whether you decide that you're going to work on your business and in your business and move it towards a place where you can choose how much time you put into it at some point? And that element, I would submit to you, is knowing your why. Knowing why you are there and knowing what you are actually doing with your business and having enough behind you, enough inspiration within you to create the place that motivates you then to do what it's going to take. Most of us default to a place of doing just what we have to do. And sometimes that's fine. But if you want that business to move beyond that place of just merely providing some for you and you having to be there all the time, then it's going to take a little extra time. It's the slight edge, if you would. You have to be doing something continuously that's moving that business towards the place that you want it to be. The place where it can run itself. And you can have other people that are in charge of things that are collectively doing what it's going to take, and it doesn't require you having to be there all the time. That if you could step away from that business for 2 weeks, a month, and come back, and that business is still working and producing, you've done something. And that takes systems in place. Systems that people know what to do, how to do it. Now every business, although they have similar criteria of running the business, there's still individualism. And one of the things that Ray Kroc did so well, he was able to bring people together that had creativity and were individuals. He wasn't a person that demanded everything be the way he wanted it. but he gave latitude in how some things were done. And he brought together what I call the trifecta of the system. And that trifecta is bringing the franchisee, the corporate managers, and the suppliers together. And that operation in a system like that creates a place where everybody's got buy-in. Now, I've looked at the business that I'm in. I work with Legal Shield, as most of you know. The system that's in place with that is structured so there's three elements to it. One element is the associates that are involved. They are individual business owners. The other element is the corporation. The corporation supports the business owners. The corporation supports the product. And the other element are the attorneys that they have and the identity theft company that operates that system. So those three work together individually to make the whole system work. Now, Ray Kroc applied this to the system of McDonald's, and it works. He brought his suppliers in and structured the system so the suppliers had buy-in to what was going on. The franchisees were brought in, and the franchisees have great interest in it. But he tied that to the property. So McDonald's owns the property. The franchisees lease property from McDonald's. So McDonald's has control over that element, but the franchisee still has a lot of latitude to work his business within the scope. And then there's training. Everyone is trained at every level. Training is one of the most important things, not only in a franchise, but in a business. Whether it be a small business, large business, any kind of business you have. Training is important. That your employees are trained, because they're going to be the ones that operate your business while you're gone. And in order for them to do that, and do that effectively, and do that profitably, they need to know what the parameters are for them to operate. And when those parameters are clear, and the communication is clear within it, then that creates the environment for everyone to work together. Bringing it full circle. The most important element of your business to prosper over the long haul. To provide for you today and through your working years. And then to provide for you when you decide to retire and either transfer, sell your business, and step aside so that business can continue to operate as it had. Vision is what you need to inspire yourself. Knowing what it is that you want for that business in the future. Knowing what you see for that business in the future is of great importance. And the leader with vision, and the leader who can articulate that vision to all involved, stands to gain the most from the system. Know your business. Know where you want your business to go. Create vision. Mr. Toastmaster.